Last year, I met a person from Nigeria. We both were from two completely different countries, so we didn't have much in common to start a conversation about. Yet, in 2 days, we became best friends. It all happened because of the very first conversation that we shared together, one that bonded us in no time. It was about our two annoying younger brothers. Conversations about siblings can be fascinating. You not only get to release your frustration, but also you realize that there are worse siblings out there that you were saved from. Children are born in a particular order and across the world in every other household. And regardless of their culture or country, most siblings seem to have had similar experiences. Most elder siblings are perceived to be independent, responsible, and uptight, sometimes a teacher's pet, while most younger siblings are perceived as carefree, confident, and irresponsible. The middle child is often the forgotten one and who tends to be rebellious too. If you relate with none of these, you must be the only child, the smart but a bit spoiled one. A lot of what I just mentioned are mere stereotypes. But why does our society associate a person's birth rank with said stereotypes? Why do we sometimes presume a person's traits based on which sibling they are? Have these stereotypes proven to be true? These are few of the questions this talk is going to address. Let's first start by understanding the firstborn. Why are they the way they are? For the parents, this child is like a lab rat. They often don't know what to do with it because it's their first time. However, the societal pressure of raising the perfect child leads the parents to have unrealistic expectations from their firstborn. They end up being unnecessarily strict with them. And in the initial years, the firstborn gets the entirety of their parents' attention. While as soon as their sibling is born, they have to go under this drastic, sudden change in which they have to accept that their attention is now going to be shared with someone new, but also they have to be a role model for this younger sibling. This added responsibility increases the pressure elder siblings are already exposed to. Growing up in an environment where certain things are always expected of you and your mistakes are micro examined by everyone makes you push your boundaries subconsciously. And you get into the ideology that if they believe in me, I should be able to do that. In case of the younger sibling now, by the time parents have their youngest child, they are done experimenting with their previous children. Hence, they have eased off a little. This is the reason why the youngest child does not go through the same amount of pressure as the eldest child had gone through. However, youngest child's achievement and accomplishments are constantly compared to those of their elder siblings, and this makes them feel undermined. After this, the youngest child, whenever makes mistakes, it's always looked after by their parents or their siblings. They never get the opportunity in the first place to take authorization and learn how to clean up their own messes, how to solve their own problems. Then the society blames them to be less independent or irresponsible. The truth is, they never have actually gotten the opportunity as their older siblings to exercise all of these new learnings. Let's now understand the case of a middle child. This child is often the one who feels forgotten. It is because that by the time the parents have had the middle child, they're done with experiencing and appreciating the key events of their first child, and they're now busy looking after their youngest child, because of which the middle child feels lost. Parents love their children equally, but they often fail to express it, especially in this case. The middle child feels that he or she isn't loved as much as the youngest child was, and was not looked or appreciated as much as their oldest child was. This all leads to them over analyzing and being paranoid about every single situation they are stuck in. When growing up, they often tend to lack codependency in relationships, and they have the constant fear of not being prioritized enough. All said and done, this is why they are the way they are. The truth is that parenting is a highly environmental and it is highly dependent on environmental and socio cultural factors, which we don't realize in the first place. But it plays an indirect role in shaping the child's psychology and personality. Birth order is not the sole factor which creates your personality, but it does have a huge impact on you. This leads to the creation of the so called stereotypes which predefine your role as a sibling. And when your parents and the society reinforces these stereotypes, that's when there are impacts on development of a particular child. But there are many ways to go around it. New parenting guidelines suggest that if the younger sibling is exposed to the same amount of responsibilities and academic expectations, they end up doing just as well as their older sibling, if not better. The middle child, if shown enough love and a conscious acknowledgement, they end up not suffering through overthinking or being paranoid. And in case of the eldest child, if parents expect them to be more responsible, then they should be rewarded enough as well. Knowing why siblings are the way they are has definitely reduced the amount of rose battles my brother and I used to have. And now that you know why they actually are the way they are, you too can bring peace to your house.